looked so much more comfortable since Bruno Fernandes has come in, and Solskjaer has kind of settled on that 4-3-3 formation, which brings the best out of Pogba. It gives a bit more protection to the back and also frees up some of the players up front who don't have to play as wingers but can play as three strikers. But I still think there's a bit of quality missing throughout. And United fans, as fans, you always want more. You always want more players coming in. But I think, they have seen a lot of this team, and they would like to have at least one or two big additions coming in.
I agree. I think a centre-half, because in one-on-one situation, Lindelof and Maguire, I think 1v1 against pace, I think they can struggle. So I thought they might have gone for a centre-half. They've not to bring one in yet. And on the goalkeeper, do you think David De Gea will be Man United's number one by Christmas?
I think he should be. I mean, David De Gea has been one of the greatest goalkeepers for a long time. And he's not been at his best. But I still believe he can get back to that level. Maybe this pressure and this criticism, if he's the right type of professional, will kick him on. I believe you should bring in players to sort of prod and compete.
So Henderson now is there. Yeah. He's going to be pushing David De Gea, isn't he?
But I think De Gea is still better. And hopefully, for Man United's sake, that will bring the best out of De Gea. But I think that move will hopefully sort of push De Gea back to where he was before.
With everything you've just said there, Rafa, about what players Manchester United you think they still need in this window, whether or not they get them, we'll have to wait and see. Does it mean that if they were to spend big money on Jadon Sancho, and that's something that could still potentially happen, the transfer window doesn't close until October the 5th, would that therefore be a waste of money then?
No. Getting Sancho is definitely not a waste of money. I think he's one of the...
Even though they need all those other players?
Well, they need all these other players, but I think if you have a chance to get in Jadon Sancho, you need to take it. And I think what United can do, if the finances are available, is to be in a position to get a player who in a normal summer would have 3 or 4 big offers on the table. But because money is tight all across Europe, United seem to be the only club able to pull off that kind of deal, in theory. Have they done it yet? No.
How much do they want?
Dortmund won 120 million euros, which is almost 110 million pounds. It's a lot of money. They feel that they shouldn't give any discount, even though the situation is dire financially, because next year they believe, especially with the Euros coming up and young, exciting England player being one more year into his career, and he's developing so quickly from year to year, he gets so much better, that there will be an even bigger market for him. So United's opportunity is now. Whether they can do it financially, it doesn't look like it at the moment.
Do you think it's too much? I think it's too much. I think that price tag on Sancho is too... Hazard, I can't remember how much Hazard went for.
Hazard went for 100.
I'll have to do that to the boys in training after instead.
In terms of your aims for this season, top 4, of course, was your big hope last year. What would you say would represent a successful season for Manchester United this time round?
Well, I think we can go into the new season with confidence with the way we finished last season. I think that showed what we're capable of, and of course we need to we've developed throughout the season, and we need to keep on developing. And I think we've shown the potential. We need more consistency, of course. But I think with a year more experience, we should be getting that consistency. And towards the end, it's a group. I don't really want to say what they cannot do. I think they can go as far as they want themselves.
Morning, Ollie. As much as there is progress, and we can see that on the field just a couple of weeks ago, if one glimpse of social media would suggest that there's a lot of fan discontent. Do you understand the frustration at having only signed Donny, their frustration, and do you have a message for the fans ahead of the new season?
Well, I think, fans will always want the best possible team to watch, the best possible Man United team, and that's the passion we want. And of course, the history we've had, we can look back 10 years, 20 years, and of course you look back at the great players we've had. And for me, I think going forward, we need to take the last since Sir Alex left, we've been averaging fifth position. Last season we got third, which was a big step forward. I think everyone saw the development in the team throughout the season. Bruno coming in, Harry being the captain, really showing leadership skills on the pitch and off the pitch. Aaron did really well. So of course we want to take a step forward. We want to develop, and we can go into the season with confidence. But we're always looking to give the group a boost, and we're working on it.
You mentioned Harry there, and the captaincy. Obviously, he had a tough time a few weeks ago. How's his mindset? Do you think the appeal will be on the back of his mind? And did you ever consider taking the captaincy away from him?
Well, the process will keep on going, and knowing Harry, he's a very strong character, so hopefully he can put that apart. But naturally, as a human being, it will be in the back of his mind what's happened this summer. And apart from that, you just got to see how it develops with Harry. Personally, I think he will be able to focus on his football. But then again, who am I to? How can you? You can't predict how people will react. But so far, he's trained well. He's been focused. So hopefully that process will just go on. And of course, we know it's something that will go on in the legal department over there.
James?
Good morning, Ollie. Without making it about player indiscretions, clearly Mason had a difficult time with England and things went on there. Have you had to speak to him about kind of his responsibilities and his kind of growth as a person as well as a football player?
Yeah, of course I speak to Mason, and I've spoken to Mason. Of course, obviously what we speak about and discuss will be between the two of us. The kid had a fantastic season. He's just come through. I've worked, and the club have worked, and all the staff here. We worked really hard to. When we gave Mason enough time on the pitch, when we gave him exposure in the media, then you come to the end of the season, and we've had less than 2 weeks off, and he's called up to the national team. I have to be honest enough to say I tried my best to give him a rest over the summer. That the club, we asked specifically that and we pointed out he should have had a rest. He needs it mentally and physically after that season he had. First thing that happens is he's called up, two is right there in the press. We've done whatever we can to protect him, and I will keep on helping him. I know that when he comes back into the daily routine of the club and what we do to him, he'll be fine.
And in terms of transfer business, how confident are you about new faces coming in before October the 5th? And also, where are we at with Jadon Sancho? Because the club is obviously trying to make attempts to bring him over from Borussia Dortmund.
Of course, we've done some business with Donny. I'm very happy, delighted to get him in. Exceptional, smashing lad, very good player that will give us something. You know, I can't say anything about other clubs' players out of respect for them. I can't speculate. But we understand that to get even further, one, we need to develop what we have. Two, we're also looking to strengthen the team. Of course we are. And but let's just wait and see if we manage to bring anyone in. I've been in dialogue with the club, of course. We're always discussing, and hopefully, let's see if we can bring anyone in.
Hi, Ollie. Can I just clarify with Mason? Is he part of the group now, and is he available for Saturday?
Yeah, he's part of the group. Yeah, of course. How long should with his testing and the COVID protocols, he trained by himself for a little while. We had some tests done, and of course, as soon as it was possible. He's with us. He's a big part of this group, and this is where he feels at home. This is where he's call it not comfortable. We challenge him. We've got people looking after him. We've had a plan with him throughout the season, and I think it worked really well. And but he needed a rest. I look at the interview he did for the FA. The first national team game, he's talking about maybe looking back at this season when it's over, and that's actually on the first day of his new season. So we have to understand there's an 18-year-old kid there that needs managing.
Could you just tell us who your goalkeeper is going to be tomorrow, and how you're going to manage to keep Spain's number one goalkeeper and someone who's in the England squad together in the same squad?
I can't. I'm not going to tell you the team today. No, I'm not. But the training, goalkeeper trainings it's been fantastic to watch. It's so enjoyable. It's the highest possible quality you can imagine. I know the goalkeeper coaches are really enjoying working with them. I'm watching when we go into the games and some of the stuff they do, and it's some of the stuff is fantastic, and it's going to be an interesting thing for many to follow, because I know that it's great to see Luis Enrique talking about David the way he did after his internationals. Because coaches who work with players, they've got the respect that